Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. You're the question, you're the answer. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. You're the question, you're the answer. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time.
A very good evening. Welcome to World Cup 2026 live here in LFS. Thanks for your company for this one this Thursday afternoon. The first of two games of the day, and we restart right from the beginning. Group A is in action, along with Group B this evening here in LFS. And we start with Czechia, who were beaten by South Korea on match day 1 of the group, taking on another side beaten on match day 1 in South Africa, who were thumped in the opener. And we're down to 9 men in that game. And those players, of course, missing for this match. Overnight, though, it's been a dramatic evening of action to finish off round 1 of the fixtures. Ghana needed a 95th minute winner to beat Panama in Group L, so England and Ghana are the top two in Group L. And in Group K, Colombia 3-1 winners against Uzbekistan. It was 1-1 in that game. Munoz with the opener. Faisulayev with the leveller for Uzbekistan, but Luis Diaz and Campas with the late goals for Colombia to get off to a winning start at the World Cup. A quick look at the Golden Boot race. Lionel Messi leads the line, and he is the man in front with the hat-trick in his first match. A handful of players on 2 goals: Flo Balogun, Elijah Just, Yazan Ayari, Kai Havertz, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, and 42 players all on 1 goal at this tournament. Czechia, South Africa is our first game. Switzerland, Bosnia is up a little later on, but let's have a look at the two teams for this one, starting with the Czechian side, who are looking to bounce back from opening game defeats. Kovar starts in goal. They've gone for a back 3, sets back 5, with Sofal, Holish, Hranac, Krejci and Sojka are in the back 4. Darida and Sadliek are the midfield, along with Serv, and Slojek and Schick are the front 2. For South Africa, we watched them on the opening game a week ago today. How have they recovered from that damaging defeat and that ultimately high pressure performance that didn't turn out the way they wanted? Williams starts in goal, a back 4 of Madao, Ocon, Mbokazi and Modiba. Mukurna, Adams and Mbata are in midfield. Apolis comes in on the right, Maseko on the left, and Reyners through the middle. Of course, both sides not with full numbers for this one. Certainly South Africa, due to those 2 red cards. The man who misses out and is on the bench for this one is Lyle Foster, who of course was in the game to start last week. So both sides looking to make amends from their opening day defeats. But how will they respond? It's Czechia against South Africa in Atlanta, Georgia, to get their second game of the tournament underway. Kickoff is next. A very good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. So, 2 teams with work to do and a lot to make up for from their opening game defeats last week. Hugo Bruce, his side fell to a pretty damaging defeat to Mexico in the opening game, albeit only 2 goals to nil, but a defeat nonetheless that, in terms of the performance, would have damaged the confidence of the South African side. But we're expecting a very close match between these two for this one, and a match that maybe South Africa could dominate the possession. Group A gets us underway for match day 2 of the groups. The countdown is on as we get underway here in Atlanta at the Mercedes Benz Stadium. It is Czechia that get us going. They're of course in their red and blue in reflection of their colours, of course, on their flag, and South Africa in the very famous yellow and green. And of course, Czechia, you have to say, expectation coming into this group that they could be one of the high performers, but that defeat to South Korea really did put a bit of a shock to the system. How will they respond here this afternoon? That's a lovely darted ball by serve out to the left-hand side. He's Patrick Schick. Back it goes as Krejci tries to loft it into the box, and the deft header is off target. It is Patrick Schick with his head, but he's headed it wide. Really good delivery from the left-hand side. We see this again, just striding onto it. Kind of a miscue. Krejci just lifts it into the area. And Patrick Schick, under no pressure whatsoever, just heads it wide. I mean, it is Patrick Schick, the dominant force in the area. And a man who's been in those sorts of situations countless times before. But ultimately, not on the ball there right from the off. Czechia started positively. That's a nice feinted ball down the left-hand side. Is Hlozek. Nicely seen behind for the corner by Kulisu Madau, the South African right back. Yeah, Adam Hlozek with the opportunity, the run in behind. The danger of that two-pronged attack from the Czech Republic, or Czechia. Hlozek and Schick, the danger. For the delivery from the corner, headed away. South Africa under early pressure, but they deal with that corner well. And the counter-attack initially stifled, but the out ball to the left-hand side. Here is Apolis. We'll just recycle it back to Mbukazi. Ocon. Now Madau. You need to get some of the ball, South Africa, early doors. Here's Mukena. To Apolis. Back it goes to McKenna and all the way back to Ronwen Williams, who certainly had a hit or miss game really against Mexico in the opening game. Certainly not his best performance, but certainly did a good job at keeping the score down at times. Got a free kick here, Czechia. Foul on Vladimir Darida. It's going to be a free kick. Our referee this afternoon is Tori Penso from America. And Vladimir Darida there with the free kick. Filed in the middle. Opportunity to deliver here for Czechia, who've put some good pressure on South Africa so far. It's Mikhail Sadilek with the opportunity. Sadilek with the left footer out to the far right hand side, guided by Sofal across and up and into the air and behind by Adams for the corner. Jaden Adams with the defending. Yeah, nicely taken free kick by Sadliek as he swung it out to Vladimir Sofal on that right hand side. He just guided it across as Sofal takes the corner. Oh, Roman Williams came for it. The little scissor kick attempt is well off target from Sadliek there. Yeah, Sofal's delivery there had the South African goalkeeper in a dangerous area. He thought he could come and collect it, but not ultimately, and could have been caught out there, but got away with it. It's been a nervy start from South Africa, I think. Certainly defensively, look, some shaky moments. Czechia have played with real great directness and strength so far. South Africa just haven't settled into the game in the first few minutes. Ball fed in behind. Here's Hlozek trying to fire it back across. It's found a man. It's found the space. And Czechia take the lead. It's Sadilek with the opener. Beautiful move down the right-hand side. Fired back across the area. A couple of nice passes. And the finish from Sadilek to give Czechia the lead. In a flash, Czechia find themselves in front. Mikhail Sadilek with the opener. The Slavia Praha midfielder giving his team the lead. Only his second international goal, but we have to see this again as he hugs the bench and the coaches and the backroom staff as he takes on some water. We see it again. It's long throw down that right hand side, and that was a key threat taken in on the prior to the game about how dangerous they were against South Korea in those situations. It's fed wide to Klozek. Beautiful fired cut back right across the edge of the area. Taken in on the left. I think it's not too sure if it's Patrick Schick that plays the pass into the path of Sadilek, who made the run in behind, and he just slotted it past Ronwen Williams into the back of the South African net. Czechia 1, South Africa 0, and that is a wonderful start for Czechia. But again, too many errors, too many mismatches from South Africa, 1v1, and in dangerous areas they've looked really shaky and already find themselves behind. Well, it didn't take Mexico long to open the scoring in their game. Just 9 minutes when Quinones scored the opener of this World Cup. Well, it's taken just 6 minutes for South Africa to concede in their second World Cup game. And they've been under such pressure. And it's not that they've been bombarded, it's just really poor individual moments. It's similar to the first game. It just let South Africa down time and time again, and they're not a bad team. It's just individual errors and mistakes. On top of the fact that there is just a lack of tactical cohesion. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Czechia, if you'd done a bit of analysis prior to the game about how they performed in their first match against South Korea, Czechia, you would know that set pieces, long throws, and certainly long throws and throw-ins in general, were one of their most dangerous traits, Czechia. And again, South Africa get caught out in that moment. Yes, there's a lot that needs to happen afterwards, but that long throw gets them into that dangerous position. And as I said, that two-pronged attack that they have, Czechia, with Klozek being the runner, being the direct player in behind, and Schick being that physical presence in the middle, they combine really well again. Klozek with a nice run, the cutback, and then the pass into Sadilek's path. Nicely taken finish. But again, it's an error from South Africa that they will be really displeased about. And they're in behind again. Look at the spaces. Here's Sofal clipping it across, and I think Madao got in the way, but the flag was up anyway. But again, gaping holes in this South African defence. Again, far too stretched, far too open. All ball watching. No one tracking runners, no one tracking the danger zones. I mean, they're wide open at the back. I mean, really good sharp football from Czechia again. They look really on form for this, but South Africa, I mean, they've been all over the place defensively early in this game. Could be further behind. And we saw in the build-up to that moment, albeit an offside moment, but they get dragged, they get tempted to chase the ball, and that's where they leave the gaps in behind. That's where the spaces are being left, and they're just running in behind Czechia time and time again, and it's really quite naive. Williams, Mbukazi going for the switch towards that was Makezo. No room there to take it down. South Africa do win the throw. Kena into Adams. Down the right hand side it comes now. Madao. Here's Maseko on that right hand flank. Closed out. Madao picks up the pieces. All the way back here to Ocon and Mbukazi. Finds McKenna. All the way through there as the Czechian midfield get dropped deep to defend the edge of their area. And they actually win a throw in out of that situation. Sedilek with the defending. A really strong start from Czechia in all areas of the pitch. And a really positive start. Remember that South Africa could be in trouble already in the tournaments if they lose to Czechia. And for example, if Mexico and South Korea draw, then it would be now impossible for South Africa to finish in the top 3. Because ultimately, the head-to-head is what is taken into account first, rather than goal difference and goals scored and all of that. It is head-to-head, so if Czechia beat South Africa, they would have to beat South Korea, and South Korea would have to lose to Mexico to finish 3rd in the group. Because of the head-to-heads, they've already lost to Mexico and are losing to Czechia. It would be impossible to finish above them. Opportunity from range though. Oh, that was travelling from Apolis. Struck the outside of the netting. Whether it took a deflection away through, I think, not too sure, but we see it here. Apolis just picks it up in the central area, goes for the effort from about 25 yards, and it wasn't too far away. Give credit there to Ozowin Apolis. And they win the corner here, South Africa. First shot leads to their first corner. Taken short, fired to the edge of the box. Ocon. Many options on there. Didn't take advantage of the set piece, really. Want to fire one from about 45 yards. I mean, that is just wasteful completely. I mean, part of me really doesn't understand the point in getting a corner and going short. It's always frustrated me. I don't understand. What's the point? Just don't have a corner in the first place then. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me why teams decide to take a short corner and pop it around for 5 minutes and do nothing. Just get the ball into the area. I mean, it's a bit old school, but I mean, get the ball in, you never know what can happen. Chaos can ensue. Chaos is not going to ensue when you play the ball short 3 yards. And try and pass it around the back. Pointless. That's not to really criticise South Africa. Here's Schick in the half space. Couldn't quite direct it through. McKenna, I think, just got a toe in on that one. See it behind, back to his goalkeeper. Actually, Hlozek actually just evaded the pressure initially of Mbukazi, and in the end it was McKenna that slide in to win the tackle. Excuse me. Hlozek, on the way back it comes here to Hranac. Switched out to the left-hand side. Chested down by the man who got the assist, Alexander Soyka. Krejci. Ball swung in towards from Cherv towards the area. Ultimately, South Africa get it away, and that's going to be a foul, though. Ladislav Krejci, the Czechia captain, committing the foul there on the right winger, Tapelo Maseko. Just short of 15 minutes gone, South Africa have maybe wrestled back a little bit of possession. Not much cutting edge in the final third as of yet. McKenna back to Mbukazi, out to the left-hand side. Modiba. Room to manoeuvre there as the check-in players get deep into shape as Apolis has to try and come onto the ball to create something. Nothing there for South Africa. All the way back to their keeper again. Cameron Williams going to go long out to that right channel. Cleaned away by Ladislav Krejci. Seen out for the throw-in though to South Africa. Yeah, there's just no passes and lanes open through the middle. That's a lovely switch ball though. Modiba has the space here in the left. Finds the little angle of space and swung out to the far right. That's a nice move. Madal with the cross into the area and on to the toes, I think, of Maseko in the middle. Reyners was in there in the mix as well, but somehow that one didn't threaten goal, and I think it might have been a bit of defending by Hollish, who'd come across to make the stop, but dangerous cross from Madal. It's really nicely worked though, the switch ball out to the left. It created that angle of space in the middle, and they had the options on the opposite side with the space. Whipped an early cross in, that really zigzag football. Worked really well there for South Africa. They double team to win the ball back, but quickly given away to Patrick Schick. That was a late challenge by Modiba. Patrick Schick brought down. Another Czechia free kick incoming. Well, remember, they've already had 2 players suspended from this match. Straight red cards in the opening game last week. The last thing they want is to lose any more players. And it was a chaotic opening game. 3 red cards in the tournament opener. Cefalo Sitole and the late one from Themba Zwane, the double red card. Here's the goal scorer, Sadalek, to take the free kick. Launched out to the left-hand side. Krejci guides it down. Fed back to the edge of the area and swung into the area, but a long-range shot there from, I think that was Darida from range. Was well off target in the end. Zapollis was looking dangerous in behind there. Nicely dealt with by Kovar in the Czechian goal. He hasn't really been tested too much so far, Mate Kovar. Well, Czechia, of course, as I said, like both teams, come into this one with no points on the board. Ladislav Krejci did give them the lead in the second half against South Korea, but a late comeback from the Koreans. Hwang In-bom and Hyung Kyu-oh with the 2 goals late in that game to give the Koreans an opening game victory. Give them a bit of an unexpected bounce into the second game against the co-host Mexico later this evening. That game a really exciting one, a really intriguing game. One of a number of second group games where the top 2 teams in the group face off. Mexico and South Korea later on this evening in the Estadio Akron in Guadalajara. Of course, that's where South Korea beat Czechia last week in Guadalajara. We'll be hoping it's a good omen for them later this evening. As I said, both teams in this group, these 2 teams we're watching now, will be watching on later, depending on what happens here, to see kind of what the outcome of the result is, because as it stands, it's not good news for South Africa. As I said, they find themselves in a really tricky spot as it stands. As we have a look at the table for you, there's the that's not the live table. That is the live table, but it's not of Group A. We'll show you the Group A table in a moment. Showing me Group B at this moment in time, which is not relevant right now. Anyway, South Africa with the possession. Here is Modiba down the left, inside to Apollis. He has looked dangerous for Bafana. As Madao takes it down on the right. 20 minutes gone. Czechia 1, South Africa 0. Sadalek's goal after 6 minutes separating the 2 teams. Bouncing ball in behind there. Had threat, and Kranac had to get it clear. Actually unable to show you on the side of the screen, which is a bit frustrating, but we'll show you at full screen. The live table. There you go. There is what it would look like right now. Obviously, Czechia would be third in the group due to their goal difference. I would have them in that moment. Obviously, Korea having beaten Czechia would be above them on that front, and Mexico would also be second via their goal difference because they haven't played Czechia yet. So that is why that is where it is. But at the moment, Czechia would be staying where they are, but with 3 more points than they would have had previously. South Africa have looked a little bit more dangerous, though, in the last 5-10 minutes. They've responded well and had some half-decent opportunities. Certainly a bit of danger in the final third. Apolis. Mokoena out to the right-hand side from Madao. Switch ball there. Bit high, but he did guide it on nicely. Modiba. All the way back from Holish to Kovar. Again, South Africa have had more of the ball in the last 10 minutes. They've settled into the game. They've got a few good passes, getting everybody on the ball and keeping the ball moving. Keeping Czechia honest at the moment. And albeit on that occasion, they will actually give away the foul. Moseko having the last touch. That's going to be a throw in to Czechia. However, for the moment, we'll have our hydration break. Albeit, the comment being made previously about this World Cup, about these hydration breaks, is the fact that this is a air-conditioned stadium with the roof closed here in Atlanta. Amongst a number of stadiums, we've seen that in Dallas and Houston as well, where they're not open-air stadiums. We'll see it later in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium as well, in LA. These are stadiums that aren't really affected by the conditions outside because they're enclosed and dome-like stadiums, so the questions of hydration breaks are a little bit confusing, albeit whatever the temperature out in the Atlanta sun is, it's irrelevant to these players because they're not in that open air. 27 degrees and it's heavy rain apparently out, and there's some storm threats, but of course with it being a enclosed stadium, the storm threats will have zero effect on this game. But I think if we did take this game as what the Americans like to call the first quarter, I'm reluctant to say that because I don't want to make that a normal thing, because it's not normal. Football is 2 halves of 45 minutes. But if we did take this little chunk, I think Czechia started really strongly. I think South Africa really struggled in the first 10 minutes to get any sort of possession, any sort of real pressure on the ball. And they were getting played through for fun by Czechia. The runs in behind, no one tracking runners, really sloppy start from South Africa, just complete lack of concentration. But then they settled. They got a little bit of the ball. They've started to move it about a bit. 1 or 2 dangerous moments. I think the game has evened itself out and maybe slightly gone the way of South Africa in the last 5 minutes. But again, Czechia with the lead, and we know they're happy to have less of the possession. They're happy to sit a little deeper and head on the counter-attack and use set pieces. That is to their genome. That this is their idea, their philosophy at Czechia. And we watched them in the Euros 2 years ago, and they employed that similar idea of not being a team that would be too expansive, too open, too kind of, as I said, open to criticism in that factor in terms of dangers from their opponent. And then when they had the opportunity to break, I mean, remember that game against Portugal in the opening of the group in the Euros. Now, it wasn't too successful. They lost 2 of their 3 group games in that one, but the point still stood as they were dangerous in that game against a better opponent. Provod got the goal. They looked dangerous, and they were in a game where they were dominated, but they still, till late in the game, were in front. And the question marks for Czechia is the fact that in games where they have come up against teams that maybe are a little bit inferior, that's where they struggle, because they don't know how to have too much of the ball, or that they aren't used to having too much of the ball, and certainly don't usually like to dominate possession. And that could be a little bit of a kind of a red flag or a black mark on their record. But the point that they're in front here, they've not had a bad start, and they have the lead crucially. Like really too much to say from South Africa's point of view on the other end of things. They're without a shot on target so far, South Africa, so that's positive for Czechia. And of course, this is my first time watching Czechia in the tournament, other than the highlights of their first game. But in terms of a full 90-minute game, the first time I've watched them, so it is very intriguing to see what way they've set up and how they approach this so far. Their approach and their game plan has panned out perfectly, but that's a lovely fed through ball by Apollos. Rainers with the run. No way through there as they scramble it clear there. Czechia. Schick, the man down the right, but eased out of the play by Mbukazi. And I have to say, Osman Apollos is the danger man for South Africa. He's the man creating the danger and the opportunity in the final third. Well, overall, Czechia have only qualified. Of course, previously known as Czech Republic, their official name is Czechia as of this current World Cup. They haven't qualified for any of the previous 4 World Cups. Their only World Cup appearance since Italia 90 was back in 2006 in Germany. They didn't make it out of the group and lost 2 of their 3 group games. Won the other in 2006. They've only ever reached out of the group on a handful of occasions, and none of them as Czech Republic or Czechia, all coming as Czechoslovakia back in the early days. They were runners-up twice, including in the second World Cup, shall I say, back in 1934, and in 1962 as well they finished second. The best they've got to since then was the quarter-finals in Italia 90, where they were knocked out, of course, at that stage, ultimately, by West Germany, who, of course, no longer exist. And they've lost each of the last 3 World Cup games, including the opener against South Korea last week. Ghana and Italy put defeats on Czechia back in 2006. Their only win in the group was against the United States when they won 3-0 in Gelsenkirchen. Cologne and Hamburg against Ghana and Italy. Lost 2-0 on both occasions. Of course, the 3 teams they will face in this group. They don't have a record to be pretty positive on. Obviously, they'd never played South Africa prior to this. Their only other game against Korea. They actually never played a game against Korea before either, before their first game. And they only played Mexico once in a World Cup previously, and they lost that game. So they don't have a historical good record, albeit a small sample size. Their top scorer, Czechia, in World Cups was, in terms of record player, actually, Ladislav Novak, who played 12 World Cup matches back in the 1950s and 60s. And their top scorer, Ulrich Nedelji, scored 7 goals at a World Cup, all coming in the first 2 tournaments that they entered in 1934 and 1938. Here's Patrick Schick. He's got Flojek in front, decides to spin and wait for other options. Sadilek out to the left, so you're back to Krejci here. And Soika Back to Krejci. Hranac. Right to the right hand side to Sofal. Now Holish. Way back to Kovar. Well, I have to say their defence is quite strong, Czechia. Of course, Ladislav Krejci is certainly been more heavily involved over the last few years. And Holish and Hranac, Sofal. Very strong defence from Czechia that we've seen really perform well previously. Actually, players that I really quite enjoy watching, and certainly an enjoyable team to watch when they're in their groove. So far, though, this first half has slightly gotten away from them, and have to say, albeit in terms of possession, South Africa with over 60% of the ball now, after what was a slow start for Bafana, but they have settled into the game and maybe starting to pose one or two opportunities of their own. Here's Modiba down the left, looking for the early cross, blocked by Hranac. Sofal with the help. And it's hooked away by Sadilek on the edge of the box. Again, it's all about prevention for Czechia. At the moment, preventing South Africa from making anything of this game. Again, the South African side who came into this World Cup off in really poor form, haven't won any game of any sort since 2025, on the 29th of December, so haven't won this calendar year in any game. That totals up to 6 matches. They've lost 3 of those, drawn the other 3, 3 of which, all 3 draws came in international friendly games against Jamaica, Nicaragua and Panama. Sofal. Down the right hand side it comes, fed down the channel, took a deflection, it will go out for the throw, but I think there's going to be a retrospective yellow card handed out to McKenna here. And the referee not pleased with the late challenge on Cherv. And Teboho McKenna into the referee's book. Yeah, it's a late challenge. Yeah, it's definitely a yellow. No question. Remember, very strict rules at this World Cup. Obviously, as tradition, 2 yellow cards in the group stage means you have a 1-match ban, so that's another South African who will not be available for the next game against South Korea. Teboho McKenna. Here is Schick in behind, looking for the run. I think it was Holish, was it? Trying to see it again. Yeah, it's Holish that got himself forward, and well, a great ball from Klojek. That was a rare moment of danger from Czechia in the last 20 minutes. It's been dominated with a lot of South African play. Not much goalmouth action, not many shots in the game since the hydration break, really. The game has had a little bit of a lull spell where both teams are just battling for possession. Not much attacking danger from either. I have to say, in terms of the amount of possession they've had, South Africa, it has been a little bit underwhelming. The fact that they haven't just been more direct against Czechia. They've been a little bit passive, and yes, they've settled into the game, and yes, they've taken a hold of the ball, but they haven't done much other than that. And there's a point in the game where you kind of have to be a little bit more adventurous. Maybe go a little bit more risky, take an extra pass. It's an extra risky pass, more or less. Offside flag going up there. Here come Czechia down the left. Schick carried out to the left channel, keeping a hold of the ball as he was wrestled away. Madao picks up the loose play. Chance down the right here for Maseko. Crosses the halfway line. Maseko breaking forward here for South Africa. Feeds it into Rayner's path. Out wide it goes. Madao cuts it across and blocked behind for a corner by a Czechian defender. Really good move again from South Africa. Rare, really quality move down this right hand side. Yeah, really nicely worked by Rayner's. Lovely fed ball down the right for Madao, who tried to cut it back onto the head of, I think it's Maseko. It was Maseko who was coming in late. Make a threat from the midfield, and in the end it's deflected behind for the corner. Again taken short. Clearly they've worked on it. They work it back wide to try and go for the scorpion kick there from range, but nothing out of that as Czechia get it on the break, and here's Slojek. He's got yellow shirts around him, surrounding him as he's taken down around the edge of the centre circle. The referee said it was a fair challenge. 7.5 minutes to go with the first half. Czechia 1, South Africa 0. Game opening up a little bit more. Here's Madao. And the cross blocked by Soike. As here is Mbata. All the way back here to Ocon. And now Runwan Williams to Mbakazi. The quality is there for South Africa. We've seen it in little glimpses. Just not consistently enough in this first half to really pose much ultimate danger to the Czechian goal, and really very little for Mate Kovar, Czechian goalkeeper, to do, as they're almost playing themselves into trouble. I mean, what on earth was that from South Africa? Trying to play like prime Barcelona. I mean, it's horrible football. I mean, it's well overhit the passes. They're putting themselves into real bother in those moments. I mean, it's just idiotic football, really. You've not got the quality to play out from the back with one-touch football. Just don't do it. And it's just inviting pressure from Czechia. I said it early in the game. It's just really naive football. Stop doing it. It's frustrating me. Really frustrating. Because it's so simple. Just don't do it. Vladimir Sofal lifting it into the area. Headed away by Mukena. Back. Worked wide. Sofal. Trying to measure up the opportunity here, Czechia. Under a bit of pressure. They're forced backwards. Not much room there for Czechia to play. As Kovar goes long. Oh, a heavy first touch. Sadilek was there to pick up the pieces, and then that's a bit of a scrunching challenge. It's another late one. This time the foul on Cherv again, and it's another South African challenge that's late, and the referee's pulled out another yellow card. This time it's given to Mbata, Talente Mbata. So he's been given the yellow card, whether it's for argument with the referee or the foul itself, but yeah, not a great challenge. Talente Mbata with the yellow card. Second South African player to receive a booking in this game after McKenna was shown a yellow earlier, and he officially given it for argument, the yellow card, rather than the foul itself. As we're into the 41st minute here in Atlanta. Czechia 1, South Africa 0, and Czechia with a free kick here. Gonna shoot from range, and that one's scooped well over the crossbar, but anticlimactic, that free kick. Not the best of quality. Yeah, Klojek got the lift, no doubt about that, but didn't have the dip on the other side of the wall. Not a great free kick by any stretch of the imagination. Well, question would be how Miroslav Kobek would be feeling at this moment in time, the Czechian head coach. I think he would be pretty pleased with how his team have played, both in and out of possession at times. Probably maybe asking for a bit more threat in the final third when they do get the ball on the break, but defensively they've been pretty strong. The ball whipped into the area again for South Africa, but another flag going up for offside. So not much ultimate danger on the end of that after the flag went up. Again, I have to be honest, at times South Africa have been their own worst enemy really in these moments. Again, playing themselves into trouble on countless occasions at the back. Really simple moments of offsides and lacking concentration. They can string a couple of good moves back to back. They can certainly garner momentum and wrestle their way back level in this game, but at this moment in time, the consistency is just not there at the moment. It can still very much change. As Modiba plays it into the middle. Held up by Reiners, who was clipped at, but he did hold on to the ball. Spread it wide. Mbata down the right hand side to Madao. Skips past his man. Opportunity to cross. Took a deflection behind for the corner off Ladislav Krejci. Krejci tries to garner his troops. It's a corner for Apollos to take. Goes short again. And another poor moment. I mean, that's just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, I really don't understand the idea. 3 corners they've had, and not a single bit of danger from any of them. Horrible, horrible. I mean, whoever is doing the tactics needs sacked. I mean, it's idiotic. I mean, that one was even worse. It was just a straight 5-yard pass, and he still gave it away. Shocking. What angers me most is South Africa are better than what they're producing at the minute. I mean, that is awful. Madao with a terrible first touch. Doesn't just enough to get back in, but they are really not doing themselves any favours. There's a fired effort from long range. McKenna again. So his name and lights. Ultimately, it was the lights inside the stadium in his eyes, because that wasn't the best of finishes. Yeah. To be fair to him, it's a hard one to try and find the net from that sort of range, but maybe taking his frustrations out in this first half on that ball. I genuinely think South Africa could be so much more threatening if when they do win a corner, just put the ball in the box. Yes, I know probably Czechia have the early advantage, but that doesn't always mean they're going to win the first header. So we'll have 4 added minutes at the end of this first half. I genuinely think though they're in this game, South Africa. If they stop these little silly moments, when they just let Czechia off the hook time and time again, they can very much get back into this game. They're not going to if they keep giving the ball away in sloppy areas and almost causing problems for themselves by their own lack of quality in individual space in 1v1 situations. That was nicely though dealt with by Mudau, who made sure that Alexander Soika had no way to cause a threat there from the wide area. The other question is the fact that they haven't had a shot on target yet, South Africa, which will be another major disappointment. They haven't tested the goalkeeper at all. Apollos has looked dangerous, but again, not much cutting edge. We've seen very little of Ikram Reyners, the centre forward, and that will be a major disappointment, that there's just that lack of threat from South Africa in the final third. Czechia are pretty comfortable just allowing them to have a lot of the ball without much shot on the end of it. It's going to be a foul. It's hypothetical, says South African soccer is not based on talent. Remember that they got rid of Carlos Queiroz for someone with no international experience. Yeah, but even at that though, I'm not saying that they're not good enough to win this game. They're good enough from what we've seen in little moments, very little moments. There is individual quality in this team to go toe-to-toe with Czechia, very much so. But it's either the decision-making in the final third, the terrible corners, set pieces that have been non-existent, and there's been lack of cutting-edge threat in the final third. But their options are good options. It's not that they're completely not at the level. They are. But for some weird reason, it's just not clicking. It's not working. They're looking really hapless in the final third. I mean, credit to Czechia. They've defended resolutely and confidently and strongly, but haven't really been majorly tested, and that's something that needs to change if South Africa are going to have a chance, because as I said, remember, yes, if they lose this game, they're not effectively eliminated, but as I told you, with the head-to-head record being the most important in a group stage, that they find themselves losing to Czechia and have lost already to Mexico. Korea is their last hope, and if Korea get a point against Mexico, they're as good as out of the tournament. So it's almost an impossibility for them to get back from this if they lose. So they've got to be more aggressive. They found a bit of space here. Modiba with the cross. Oh, the palm into space. First real danger, and on the turn, I think it was Reyners with the effort, had him closed down. Bit of South African danger, but here come Czechia on the break with their front two as Klojek runs into a defender. Still the ball alive as Klojek had the last touch. That's a goal kick. And that is the end of the first half. Well, South Africa with a decent opportunity, probably the best of the half, coming right before half time. So we see this moment again. Good ball in by Modiba, but this is what I mean. The lack of kind of taking a risk like that, whipping a ball in, see what happens. The goalkeeper palmed it into danger, and almost something come off the back of it. That's what they haven't done well enough, South Africa, in this first half. Half time though, it is Czechia 1, South Africa 0. Your one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this, and Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions, and there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable! Nice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and battered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible.
'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even burning? Do you even leave now, make your escape. You know the fortune favors the brave. So close, just get away. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even do you even I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your do you even do you even all this time I've been holding on so tight, 'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never
Welcome back to World Cup 2026 live here in LFS. Half-time in this, our first game of the day. It's Czechia 1, South Africa 0 at the break. The goal from Sadilek in the first half is the difference between the two teams in a first half that was really quite disappointing from South Africa's point of view. But in terms of Czechia, they'll be pretty pleased with that first half outcome, but knowing that more is needed to try and put this game to bed in the second half. And their best chance, really, at Czechia was early in the game. Their best chances came early in the game. They really struggled to break out and create anything of real great danger. Therefore, after that, 4 of their 5 shots in the game came in the first 5 to 10 minutes. And the most recent from Hlojak with a long ranger was in 41 minutes. So they've really struggled to threaten since the early moments. But on the contrary to that, South Africa have been really poor with their play and have looked really lacklustre in the final third. And remember, there's a bit of pressure on this one for South Africa, of course, because they know if they lose this game, they have to beat South Korea in match 3 and hope that South Korea lose their game against Mexico a little later, If not, they are as good as out of the tournament at that stage. Because really, at that point, head to head will massively go against them. But of course, we will find out about that a little later on. A reminder for you, Switzerland against Bosnia and Herzegovina is our late game. That's at 8 o'clock this evening, and we'll have kick-off from that one. And team news from that one in around about 35 minutes' time. But the second half between Czechia and South Africa is on the way next. Welcome back. Here is the look at the live Group A table at half-time. Korea and Mexico, the top two. They play later on this evening. But these two battling for third spot at the moment. Of course, both started this game without a single point on the board after opening game defeats. But Czechia at the moment at the break, and the team picking up all 3 points. But can South Africa have a say to change that in the second half? We will see. As Sadilek's goal, Mikael Sadilek's goal, is the difference at the break. Reminder for you, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for joining us. Your support at this World Cup has been really incredibly appreciated, so thank you so much. And we've got quite a few weeks still to go. 4 weeks of this tournament. It's a month tomorrow when the final takes place. That's 4 weeks this Sunday until we are at MetLife Stadium to crown the world champion. But very early in the tournament still, only starting match day 2 of the group fixtures. And at the moment, halfway through the first game of the day, it is all rosy for Czechia. But a half-time substitute for South Africa might make the difference. We're going to see Jaden Adams coming off, and he is going to be replaced by number 10, Relebole Mofokeng. So Mofokeng on to replace Adams. A change of idea expected from South Africa. I said they needed to change their approach. They needed to do something different for this second half because it just hasn't worked. And do the count. They haven't done the countdown in the second half, have they? Second half underway. No, the referee said no, we're going again. Not happy there, the American referee. I'll just start it from 5 seconds because I couldn't get it reset in time. We're off and running. Second half, off and running here in Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Atlanta Falcons NFL team. At the moment, Czechia playing like it's their home turf because they're the team on top, and they're the team that would claim a crucial 3 points at the moment as McKenna gives away another foul. And as Hypothetical says, what cheeses me off is exactly what you just said. Individual talent, but slack as a team. 100%. I think South Africa in moments have shown qualities. I think their most dangerous player, Apollos, has looked really strong in moments. But as a unit, they've looked really sloppy at times and given away some cheap possession. And I really genuinely think if they gel it all together, they can cause a problem here, South Africa, and really put a team that probably were one of the favourites to be in the top 2 for this group in a real tough spot going into the final group game. Remember, they play Mexico in match day 3, Czechia. That's a lovely fed ball in behind. Opportunity here for Czechia. Right from the off of the half as the shot was charged down in the area. It was a chance for Vladimir Darida, as that's an effort from range forced over the top by Ronwen Williams. It's Darida again. Back-to-back opportunities for Darida. Great work again from Czechia down the left. Fed back to Darida in the box. And as he got his shot off with his right foot. And then the follow-up effort actually isn't from Darida. It's from Hollish, I think it is. Nonetheless, though, danger. Or it's actually Cherv with the save, or with the shot to force the save out of Williams. Corner then for Czechia. Swung in with the right foot, headed on by Schick and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Well, Patrick Schick is an aerial threat, to say the very least. He is a major danger, but so far hasn't been at his best this afternoon. A couple of headed attempts that he's not really done too much, and not done too well from Patrick Schick. Both his major chances have come with his head. A man who's usually very clinical in those sorts of situations. Scored 26 goals for his country. It's Patrick Schick, and 54 caps for the 30-year-old. Of course, the Leverkusen forward scored 22 goals in the campaign just past for Bayer Leverkusen. His third best tally of his career, after a 24-goal season in 2022 and a 27-goal season just in 24-25. That's a lovely ball in behind. I think it's trying to see who that was. I think it's Hlojek that just sees that behind. Great fed ball in behind the channel. It's a good run down the right-hand side by Moseko. And the cross blocked by Hlojek, who dropped in down the right to defend. But opportunity from South Africa. Goes short with the corner. Here's a Polis. We're swinging one in. That's some real venom on that cross, but cleared away. Shot from range is easily blocked and picked up by a Czechian midfielder. Opportunity to break here for Czechia, but miscued the second ball. Seen back by South Africa. Nicely stepped in there by Krejci. Given away cheaply though by Czechia in the midfield. Fed in behind Sadilek, who's on the cover in the left wing back position, and Kovar to clear it away. And there's an issue here. This is a South African player down. I think it's Madao who whipped the cross in, but see it here. It's Madao actually in a 1v1 with Sadilek. I think he's come off the worst of the two. Stayed down. Good cover from Sadilek though. Madao in a bit of pain as he slowly helped back to his feet. Yeah, maybe just the way Sadilek fell onto him caused the pain more than anything else. Czechia have come out a little bit brighter in this second half already, but South Africa trying to be more direct. This time though, Reiners dispossessed. Lovely turn by Cherv, out wide it goes. Schick. Back to Zoya. Oh, that's a lovely cross. Cleaned away. That's a fabulous challenge by Mbukazi. The cross from the left though by the wing back of Czechia, Alexander Soika, was a wonderful delivery. See this again. And look at that. To stop the chance of Derrida in behind. McKenna with the challenge. Fabulous challenge. Wonderfully delivered ball by Soika from the left. But long throw here for Czechia. Into the box it goes. Flicked away at the front post by Mbukazi. Behind for the Czechian corner. Interestingly, Czechia have had more shots on target in the second half than they did in the whole of the first. 2 compared to the first half, where they had just the 1. That was the goal, though. Corner whipped in. Krejci got up there, headed over the crossbar. Well, he scored their first goal of the tournament, Ladislav Krejci, to take the lead against South Korea in match day 1. And he was the main danger again there from the corner. Run off the back of his defender and ran about the edge of the 6-yard box. Got his header just looped over the crossbar, but some danger there from Ladislav Krejci. It's not enough to test the South African goal. Bata back to Umbukazi. Ocon. One longer, chipping it over the top, looking for the run of Rainers. Cut out well. Although Krejci and Soika get in there each other's way there a little bit as they clear the ball up the field. Taken down by Ocon, and Bata plays it through here. Apolis trying to work himself into space, swings it out to the right. Mudau with the cutback, played into McKenna. Maseko, opportunity from range. That's a wild effort from Tapelo Maseko. Horrible finish. Again, the build-up play's been better though from South Africa. Their approach play's been a little bit sharper, a little bit stronger, a little bit more dangerous. But again, the final third at quality is still lacking as we see that opportunity from Lucas Cherv. Apologies. Not really a difficult one for Ronwen Williams, but it had him tested a little bit, as they're going to make the change here. A double change, Czechia, not long into the half, so Miroslav Kobek with the changes incoming. Going to see Soika and Darida off, or Darida, and they're replaced by Sulch and Zelenya. Pavel Sulch and Yaroslav Zelenya. Oh, flung forward towards the run of Sadilek. Bouncing ball though, a little bit caught out here. Czechia. Paula stayed on side, according to the officials. Here's Madao on the right side. Feints it back infield. Rainers on the turn. Lays it out to Mbata. Apolis. Wide to Modiba. Apolis. Mbata. Mbata with a swung effort into the area, but that one's going to evade each and every player in the 18-yard box. And behind for the goal kick. Again, the approach play is there. There's intention now from South Africa. You can see it from Hugo Bruce's side, but there's just nothing in terms of quality in the final third just yet. Williams. Fed down the right channel. Nice interception from the substitute, Zeleny. Sulch trying to help out Schick, but they both lose out in their challenges. As chased down the right-hand side, Maseko in a 1v1 against Krejci. It's going to be a free kick. Krejci quickly was down and quickly back up to his feet to get it going for Czechia. Sulch. Sadilek. Cherv all the way back as it comes around the right now to Klojek, but that's dispossessed by Umbukazi. Flipping one forward. Taken in by Apolis down the left. Reverses it to Modiba. Again, the approach play is better from South Africa. Sharper passing, I think, in this second half. not as ponderous or as lethargic, I think. In this second, they've shown a bit more energy. There's going to be a free kick here. Foul off the ball on Cherv again. He's been targeted quite a lot, Cherv, today. He's been fouled quite a handful of times. The referee's been disagreed with here by a number of the South African players. Cherv again. The man taken down. Off the ball, said the referee. See it again. I'm not actually too sure. It's Cherv and Moffaking that come together. In the end, the referee's given the foul, and it's a free kick to Czechia. Down the right, taken in by Czechia. The move played out to the left. Zeleny finds it into space. Opportunity here, the cutback, and the shot is blocked. Zeleny involved in the action again. This one's going to be a goal kick though. Well, it was the two subs linking up. Zeleny reversed it into Sulch's path. Sulch with the cutback. It's Sadilek again on the end of the cutback. His shot blocked this time, but more danger from Czechia, and the two subs heavily involved in the action. And that's where they'll give them credit, South Africa, in those moments where they have been in compact defensive shape, and Czechia have tried to play through them in the area. They've got bodies on the line, made key blocks in important situations, but that's the credit they can have. Czechia will be a little bit disappointed that with the chances they've had in this second half, they haven't tested Ronwen Williams more. Still just over 30 minutes to go. Long range effort. That was zipping. Ultimately in the end wide, but Modiba had the efforts. It was worth a hit, but ultimately was always spinning away from goal from his left foot. And so far they've had 8 attempts, South Africa, but not a single one of them on target. That's where the struggle has come about. A lack of danger in the final third, a lack of cutting edge when they get into the box. Not to be honest, neither side have really had it in abundance this game, but Czechia have the goal and they scored early, which can be a great thing, but it can also come back to bite you. I do apologise, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm not actually tired, it's just, I don't know why I'm yawning. Sometimes I think it's the light. Here's Apollos, evades the pressure. Nicely worked to the right hand side as it's, I think it flags up anyway, but in behind that was the dangerous man. Actually not too sure who that was. I think it was Madao actually, it was. You see the initial move, yeah, he was offside quite clearly there, Madao. Yeah, definitely offside. But at least they're trying things. That's what I'm saying. And that from that first half, they were a little bit too comfortable to have the ball and do nothing with it. But at least they're trying to play those passes, make those opportunities, try and create something. There's that real lack of that right the way throughout the first half. Poor clearance there from Kovac. One back though by Sadilek in the middle. Krejci out to the left hand side. Zeleny. Bouncing ball in behind. Lozak was the man that was occupied, but the challenge from Schick, they wanted the foul, but the referee said no, and Miroslav Kobek on the sideline there clearly felt it was a foul. He would say that though. Polis dispossessed in the middle. Zeleny getting the ball off Sulch there. Back to Krejci. Back to Kovac. Hranac. Holish. Sofal, Holish. Good play from Czechia here as the ball out to the left for Zeleny. Sulch. Cherv back to Krejci. Looks like there's more movement from the Czechian bench down there. Klozek, Sulch, round the corner to Klozek. Oh, there's a bit of a stomp there actually on Madao. We'll check up on South African fullback, but referee's just going to have a little word with Klozek there. Make sure that Madao is okay. See this again. Who's this out? And as he... Oh, not really a stomp, kind of just a scratching of the studs on the leg of Madao. It's accidental completely from Klozek there. Wanting more fresh legs. Miroslav Kubek there. Looks like there's a double change in coming here for Czechia very shortly. "25 minutes to go." Apologies. I don't mean to show you myself yawning. That is rude. I do apologise. Czechia will get the throw in here. At this moment, this game hangs in the balance, but really, I think Czechia will be pretty comfortable. Again, yes, the fact that South Africa have had more of the ball overall, but I really don't think they're that concerned. But they are going to bring on some strength from the bench. These are two very keen players to bring on. Lukas Provod and Tomas Socek. Well, Sulch's number went up, and he was shocked to see his number go up there. It was the wrong team. So South Africa were making changes first. It caught Sulch off guard. I'll tell you about those South African changes in a second, but I can tell you it is going to be Lukas Provod and Tomas Socek, but not coming on just yet, are they? No, they will. So Sadilek, who scored the goal, he's coming off, as is Klojek. So double substitution there. Reiners came off for Makopa, by the way, for South Africa. So Makopa on, replacing Reiners. And the double substitution sees Michael Sadilek and Adam Klojek off, replaced by Tomas Socek and Lukas Provod. Long throw in coming here for Czechia. Vladimir Sofal to take. Launched into the area. Flicked on by Krejci. In it away, ultimately. Long clearance up the field. That's player down. No foul given there. Madal. Nice communication there in the South African midfield. They give it away again. Here's Sochek. Sulch back to Kranach. She plays a nice ball through the middle. Bravo trying to play it down the left, but couldn't quite find Delaney. As we will have the second half hydration break. Which the crowd aren't pleased about. The crowd are making their thoughts very well heard. Not very happy, the crowd. A bit of John Denver in the stadium. I have to say, though, during these hydration breaks, whoever picks the music, they've done a very good job. They get the crowd up with the music during these hydration breaks, but in no way do I think they're the correct thing. If they're not needed, just don't take them. Pointless in this sort of scenario. Pointless. I'm loving this song. Take Me Home Country Roads. But in these final 20 minutes, Czechia still lead from that 6th minute goal from Sadilek. They've had one or two dangerous moments in this second half, certainly Czechia, but South Africa still look a little bit blunt-edged at the front line. Can that change, though? Well, Take Me Home Country Roads is the choice in the playlist. And the fans inside this stadium in Atlanta are lapping it up, creating a beautiful atmosphere inside this stadium. That's the only upside to this hydration break. Obviously the players hydrate themselves, but it is completely unnecessary in this sort of environment. There's a fan in the stands with a kind of a board, a message board, and thanking their wife for taking care of the kids while they're at the World Cup. I love that. Credit to the wife. Massive credit. It's a big job. He's a very lucky husband. And at this stage, though, if he's a South African fan, right now, their World Cup might be cut very short. They lose this, they're on the teetering edge of being eliminated. They need to find something from somewhere to give them some life in this group. A draw in this game won't be beneficial majorly for either team, really, but it could set them up for a final day victory in the group to possibly see them scrape into third. South Africa have been... I really genuinely feel that this game has been poor from South Africa. Here's a chance down the left. Not much to show there. Edge of the box. They're trying to work it into space. Apollos here. Trying to cut it across. It's going to bounce into the area. Cleared away. Picked up by Schick. He's fed it into half space for Zeleny to chase, but too heavy for him or Sulch to chase down, and Sulch beaten to it there by the defender. But South Africa need to be quicker. They need to move it much quicker. Far too slow again. They looked a little sharper at the start of the second half, but it's again faded away. Need to be much quicker. Maseko's gone narrow. Long deep ball into the box, headed across and up and into the hands comfortably of Kovac. Magopa was the one that got the header. Lacking pace though. Lovely taken ball down there, but didn't have much past it. Zeleny. Beautiful touch to take it down from the wonderful pass. Just about win the battle in the midfield here, Czechia is. Kranac kicks forward, looking for the run of Vladimir Sofal, but that was cut out well by Umbokazi. Just over 15 minutes to go. Czechia 1, South Africa 0. That's a clumsy challenge by Ladislav Krejci. That's going to get him a yellow card. And an opportunity for South Africa to deliver the ball in here from the free kick. Opportunity here for South Africa. Can they use a set piece for once in this game to give them a chance? They've let themselves down in these set pieces. Can they change that though with this opportunity? Modiba and Apollos over this. Apollos leaves it. Modiba's going to go short. Shot from range. I mean, that is dreadful. I mean, I have to be honest. Why on earth do South Africa not want to cross? You have a free kick in the final third and you decide, you know what? We're just going to do a bit of funny shit and then we're just going to square the ball. Try and put it into the box. I mean, it's so frustrating. So naive, so arrogant, without any quality to back it up. It's really shocking football. Just put a cross in. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. They haven't done it the whole way through the game. They're not going to change it the final 15 minutes. But they should. Should have changed it after the first corner went wrong. I always remember this saying, the sign of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, even though it doesn't work. They have had a handful of set pieces in this game, South Africa, and every single time they've went short or they've tried to be too cute with it, or they've given it away. And they've refused to put a cross in. They've done it time and time again. It hasn't worked for any of their set pieces. And they keep doing it. It baffles me. Got to see a change here. Cherv's going to be coming off, and I think it's Zima that's coming on. David Zima. So Zima on for Cherv in the Czechian midfields. I don't have any skin in the game, but South Africa are a country who haven't been at the World Cup in 16 years since they hosted it, a decade and a half ago, and they're going out with a whimper here. No energy, no threat, no danger, no enthusiasm. They are so steadfast, and I don't know what the idea actually is, what the identity of this team is. Is it doing stupid things? I don't want to be completely disrespectful, but it's so angering. Krejci having to stop a Polish there in a 1v1. I think it's a corner. No, I think they've actually given a goal kick. Yeah, they gave a corner, the officials, but VAR had a quick look and said no, goal kick. Yeah, whether it came off, it's Krejci, and then yeah, completely correct. It's a goal kick. Polish here. Look at the space. Taken down by Zeleny. Madal was quickly on to him, and that was a poor, sloppy move there from Czechia, given away from the defenders who didn't know whether to come or sit back. Madal picks it up on the right-hand side. Again, with the flick round the corner. Let's have Krejci with the challenge to see it out for the throw. Away from number 5 there, Mbata. Around about 10 minutes or so to go. They have to go all out for this, South Africa. I mean, they're sleepwalking their way to elimination from the World Cup at this state without having even scored a goal in the competition. Have to do something. Okay, now Opolis. Cycle it, keeping it working, keeping it moving. Need to try and cross the ball. I mean, I've never seen a team so averse to wanting to cross the ball into the box. Arguably their best moment of the game came from a cross into the area that put the goalkeeper under some real pressure. I mean, this is... they're just popping it around. There's a patience, and then there's... waiting for the world to end. Maseko cuts inside, wanted the... oh, it's a penalty! The referee points to the spots. The cut inside and shots. The referee deemed to have said it's come off a hand of Sulch. And that's a penalty to South Africa. Arguments made. The referee certain in her decision. I have to say, a replay, that looked bizarre. See it again here. Oh, no, no, no. No. Oh. Oh. The other angle, though. The first angle, it looked like it came off his arm, which is here, but his other arm was out, and it came off that arm. That's handball. That is shocking. It is handball. It does come off the left hand of Pavel Schultz. Credit to the referee. Spotted it better than us. With all the camera angles. Penalty it is to South Africa then. Is this their magic moment? Is this their chance? Teboho McKenna, who won't be available for the third game. Could this be the last action of this World Cup for him to try and rescue his country out of a real hole? To Boho McKenna. Hugo Broos can barely bear to watch. Mate Kovac hasn't been called into too much action today. Have already had one shot on target, South Africa. But Teboho Mokena closes his eyes, takes a breath, opens them again and steps up and scores! Bottom left corner, and South Africa are level. Teboho Mokena and South Africa have life here in Atlanta. With less than 10 minutes to go, the twist in this game has twisted, and Czechia's real lack of clinical opportunities to really put this game to bed has maybe come back to haunt them. A South African side who've been very blunt-ended in this game have been given a chance from a penalty, and Mokena coolly takes it, coolly dispatches it into the bottom left corner. Yeah, really, really well taken penalty. Really well taken. And is that the rocket up the backside of South Africa that they needed? A moment in this game to level. Their first goal of the tournament. And now we have a game on our hands. There's a winning goal on the cards for one of these two teams. A draw really doesn't majorly help either, because they both lost their first game, so a draw here would hand the opportunity for Mexico and South Korea to draw this evening, and almost effectively for both teams qualify for the knockout stages, as long as they avoid defeating their final games, obviously. But another game where Czechia led and have been pegged back. They have thrown away leads once again, as Maseko's been replaced by Sebelebele. Sebelelele. It's a complicated name to say. Apologies. That's the worst pronunciation I've ever said. Sebelebele is what the name is. It's got a little bit scrappy now. South Africa with the momentum. Maybe. This game has turned on its head. Madao. Fed ball towards Magopa. Couldn't hold it up. Couldn't return the ball back to Madao, who'd gone already down the right channel. Czechia on the move here is Lucas Provod. Runs into yellow shirts in the middle. They try and wrestle for it back here. Thomas Souček in the mix. Will be a throw in to Czechia's Miroslav Kobek. Sees his side once again throw away a goal lead. Three and a half minutes plus added time to go. Czechia 1, South Africa 1. Polish Souček, space here for Czechia. Down the right it comes. Weighted ball. Waited too long to try and play the ball there, Lucas Provod. Slide in to win it back though. Zeleny whips it across. Headed away at the back post by, I think that's Modiba. Taken in by Zeleny. He runs into trouble, but Mogopa is able to hold it up here. As McKenna goes back to Ronwen Williams. And a fascinating game now. Game that was, they were sleepwalking to defeat South Africa. But a penalty that changes things. As I said, Mexico and South Korea will be pretty pleased if this does end in a draw, because if one of those two can win tonight, they would confirm their place in the knockouts. An opportunity from range. Oh, the goalkeeper almost spilled it just about. Kept a hold of it there, Kovac. Effort from range from, I think that was Mofokeng, it was. Hranac, Hollish. Into Zimmer. Lovely little 1-2 there. Provod, reverse pass down the right-hand side. There's a man down off the ball. It's Patrick Schick. Into the box it comes though, as Sofal was the battler. And it's gone behind for the corner. And Patrick Schick went down off the ball. Yeah, it's Mofokeng's effort a little earlier. And saw it again. The goalkeeper a little bit unnervy. Very far from confident, the Czechian goalkeeper, Matej Kovac. Corner then for Czechia. That's minute of the 90 is. The referee wanting a word with Patrick Schick. He's a little bit furious the fact that he wasn't given a foul for what he felt was a foul off the ball, but the referee, Tori Penso, says no. Corner to Czechia. Right hand side. Swung him with the right boot. It's lofted towards the area. Ultimately, Sulch was the closest, but nothing out of the end of that one. Sulch back round the corner. Options to deliver to. Ball swung in. Krejci was the target. He got his head to it. Cleared away though by South Africa. Hranac. Down the left-hand side, Zeleny. Under evade pressure, runs into trouble, but he was fouled initially, Zeleny, so that's going to be a Czechia free kick as we surpass 90 minutes. Yeah. Caught a little bit there, Zeleny. As there's 7 added minutes. Lots of time. Vladimir Sofal to deliver. Another Czechian set piece. Sofal swung it in. Header flicked on off a defender. Zeleny with the head. Brought down by Suchek. And the flag's gone up against Thomas Suchek. So a free kick to South Africa. There's frustration, I think, for both head coaches at the moment. The two 74-year-old coaches, so they're very experienced. I think at this moment in time, if we take into consideration the whole game, Czechia would be a little bit disappointed, I think, because they started well. They struggled in the first half, but they were settled off the ball. There wasn't much danger. They come out in the second half, were again a little bit dangerous, but then South Africa retook control of the game, and they've given away a cheap goal because it was an avoidable moment from the penalty. So, in terms of giving away a penalty, so they'll be a little bit disappointed the fact that they started so well but weren't able to use that to build further and add a second goal on top of that. And for the second game running, giving away a 1-goal lead. Hollish, nice ball out wide, guided into the path that Shiku was lurking, but again, bodies on the line from South Africa to clear it behind, and the threat there from Provod on the follow-up. Yeah, strong block there by Mbukazi. It's a goal kick. Kovac, not a great clearance. McKenna picks it up. Down the left it comes, Apollos. Modiba. Wide it goes again. Yeah, a continuous reluctance to cross the ball here from South Africa. And ultimately, from the attempt to square it, they give it away, and an opportunity to run down the left here. An opportunity in space for Schultz. He's Schick in the middle. Schultz onto his left, trying to fire it across. Schick miscued it. Picked up again though. Provod fired across the area and out the other ends for a goal kick. Again, the ball dropped to Schultz on his left-hand side. He broke free onto his left foot, crossed it, fired it across. Patrick Schick didn't make any sort of clean connection. Quickly won back by Krejci, and then Provod from the edge of the box struck across the ball, across the box out to the far right side and wide of the target. But danger there from Czechia, but frustration from the fans. That's another chance missed. 3 minutes of the 7 added to go. Still 1-1. Vladimir Sofal. Comfortable possession there. Krejci, not the best of first touches, and he came sliding in there. Was late and lost the ball too. Yeah, Ladislav Krejci got a little lucky there. That wasn't more than that. That's a lovely ball out wide. Here's Madao on the run. Sibilabili. Madao. Here's Mbata. Apollos. Mokoena wide. Back to Mokoena. 2 minutes of the 7 added to go. Is there another chance emerging? Usually is in these late tense moments. Who will it fall to? And what will be the outcome? Chance here by Mogopa. And right into the hands of Kovac. Really good chance for Mogopa, but couldn't do it. Enough credit to put it either side of the goalkeeper. Another feinted ball on behind. Sofal to intercept. Less than 90 seconds to go. Schick trying to flick it round the corner, but he was well stopped by Mokoena. South Africa on the move. The bench are all up watching, hoping, praying. Madao breaking into the box. Mogopa plays it back. Moffat King now. Sibilabili lays it off. Shot from Modiba, blocked behind for the corner. As Modiba with the effort and the block there by the substitute Zima. Behind for the corner. Gone short again, South Africa from the corner. Mokoena down the line. Now they will cross. That time that's overhead. Will it be kept in? It will. Ocon, the defenders, up for this now. It's all or nothing on this moment. That's a wild effort from range right at Soma Suchek. They have everybody forward here, South Africa, by their goalkeeper. Seconds ticking away. It's now or never. Gotta go. Long ball up the field. Headed away. And that is going to be that. The final whistle goes and a point for both. Maybe a disappointment for both teams to ultimately come away with just a point in a game where they probably both needed 3 to give themselves real hope and chance of finishing in the top 2. In the end, it's Czechia who will be more disappointed, the fact that they had the lead and gave it away via a penalty. But South Africa, who were dreadfully poor at times in this game, got a point, and it's a point in the right direction for Bafana Bafana. Ultimately, they didn't have the sparkle and the class, or even the quality in moments. But in the end, probably a point apiece is probably a deserved result. South Africa looked dangerous without really much final third action until the penalty. And Czechia started well, but faded as the game went on. In the end, a draw. Probably a fair result. Final score in Atlanta, it's finished Czechia 1, South Africa 1. And that is not, as I said, a great result for either team. As you can see here, 1-1 it is finished. We'll show you what that means for the table, because that is switched things again from what we saw in the first half. What we can show you is that Mexico and South Korea are rubbing their hands together, because either of those two teams win this evening, they will secure their place in the final, in the knockout stages in the round of 32. So Mexico top spot, Korea in second, both on 3 points. Czechia in third on 1, and South Africa in fourth on 1 point. Mexico top it, of course, on goal difference, because they haven't played Korea yet, but they will play later. At the moment, if either of one of those two teams wins this evening, they will secure their spot in the knockout stages of this competition. They will be 5 points clear of third place, meaning it mathematically impossible to be leapfrogged going into the final game. A draw for both Mexico and Korea means, interestingly, that they are all but guaranteed a top 2 spot, because they both have a win advantage over the two teams below them. However, they will play the team from the bottom 3, so Mexico will play South Africa, or Mexico will play Czechia, and Korea will play South Africa in the final games. Therefore, there is a possibility and a chance that both could leapfrog their opponents if they draw this evening and win against them on match day 3. There's a possibility that they could see the table switched. But if either Mexico or Korea win, they are into the round of 32. And it comes down to 3 teams then from that point to battle for possibly 1 or even 2 spots. But it's finished a draw, which, as I said, isn't probably a good result for either Czechia or South Africa. And next, we will watch two sides who did draw in their first games, Switzerland and Bosnia, but all on the same number of points in this group, Group B, all 4 teams on a point, so a win would be a huge result for either of these two tonight, 8 o'clock here in LFS, and around about an hour's time from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. And we will have that one a little later on for you. But Czechia ultimately once again faltered to hold on to a lead, and South Africa, with their first goal of the tournament from a penalty spot, keeps them alive, at least for now. But what's in store the next time these two take the field, we'll find out to see what the result of Mexico against South Korea is later. But thanks for your company, and we'll see you again very shortly, around about 50 minutes time for our next game. See you soon.